Great. Well, let's light this candle. Welcome to the Corporate Sustainability Reporting and Transparency panel here at South by Southwest. Thanks for showing up at 5 o'clock on Sunday, March 13. I'm Jay Whitehead. I'll be your moderator for this. I'm the president and publisher of something called Corporate Responsibility Magazine that is the home of the famous 100 Best Corporate Citizens list, published for the 12th year this year. And incidentally, I wrote a book, The Post-Carbon Economy. I'm not taking these copies back home, so damn it, please pick up your copy right here. It covers what to do in how to run a company better in an expensive carbon world. I'm on the board of Harvard University's Sustainability and Environmental Program, and I'm on the board of the world's first 100% carbon neutral multinational business services company, a company called Rito Recognition. And while that's very impressive to everyone except my family, I funded research that shows that 70% of Russell 1000 companies don't have the slightest friggin' clue how to measure their return on their very significant sustainability investments. Aaron's company may be among the exceptions. And I count myself among those pissed that our president wasted his precious goodwill on a half-baked healthcare initiative rather than on pump priming alternative energy, which would have saved us a bunch of jobs, weaned us off Middle East oil, and given the companies a reason to care more about sustainability. So, sustainability confuses people because it's complicated. I saw a cartoon in the Financial Times of London the other day, two men looking at a corporate responsibility conference sign. One man says to the other, "You mark my words, sustainability won't last." Now, here's another story. Now, when I keynoted the New York Stock Exchange sustainability event and rang the bell at the New York Stock Exchange a while back, New York Stock Exchange CEO Duncan Niederauer told the audience that 88% of the companies that had appeared on the 100 Best Corporate Citizens list were listed on the New York Stock Exchange. And that's true. NYSE companies are pretty good at reporting their sustainability results. But the real story is the three things that the CEO of the New York Stock Exchange did not say. First, is that over 500 of the 6,000 New York Stock Exchange companies would tie for last place on the 100 Best Corporate Citizens list because other than legally required financial disclosures, they report nothing, zero, zip, about their environmental impacts. No environment, no climate change, no human rights, no employee relations, no governance, no philanthropy data on over 500 of those companies. Now, I also publish the list of the least transparent companies each year in our Blacklist issue of Corporate Responsibility Magazine, available at thecro.com if you'd like a free copy. Second thing that Duncan Niederauer didn't say is that the 100 Best Corporate Citizens list is based on 100% on publicly available data, which takes a big staff to get posted to public sites, and that's an investment that many smaller companies are unable to make. So it's really a big company effort. And third, apparently very few corporate stakeholders care about sustainability reporting. Let's go stakeholder by stakeholder. Employees tend to care the most because the most talented companies, employees tend to gravitate toward companies that have the best reputations. Only a few investors care, since socially responsible investing, or SRI, is only about 3% of all the institutional investment activity out there. Only a few consumers care, especially in a recession when price is king. And regulators care sometimes. Anthony will get to that momentarily. Regulators care sometimes, but mostly when it can help them get re-elected. When the media tends to focus on companies who are bad actors, because that makes more headlines and it's more sensational, and NGOs, non-governmental organizations, and nonprofits care because they get more sponsorship from the good actors than the bad ones. But 2010 marked a turning point, ladies and gentlemen, where for the first time, half of the global 1,000 companies produced some form of environmental or sustainability report. Excuse me, airplane travel is going to go for the throat. And the GRI, or Global Reporting Initiative, reported that 50% of the largest 100 companies are using dedicated sustainability reporting software to produce their report. And that's more than double the number that used it in 2006. I think that's an optimistic sign. And here today, you're in luck, because our four panelists we have here all have big dogs in the fight to drive the corporate reporting trend, and they're all real fighters, as you'll find out. But let's meet them now in no particular order, although starting at the end. Aaron Mizan is our corporate responsibility and corporate sustainability heavy hitter. Aaron's Interface Global's VP Sustainability, their energy and carbon policy guru. Now, for those of you who don't know who Interface is, Aaron, is this an Interface floor covering? It looks like it.
Oh my gosh. Let's all assume that it is.
Let's assume that this looks like it. Interface is at the top of the food chain and institutional floor covering. It's carpeting. They invented the carpet square. Pioneers of closed cycle manufacturing, where now you recycle your waste to create new carpeting. So when one of those carpet squares gets stained, they take it out, recycle it, bring in a new one, and use the stained product to create a new product. They're dedicated to something called Mission Zero, which means zero negative environmental impact by 2020. And Interface was founded by one of my personal heroes, Ray Anderson, author of Confessions of a Radical Industrialist, one of Corporate Responsibility Magazine's CEO of the Year award winners, and a true American original. That's Aaron Mizan at the end. Greg Janasek is our supply chain efficiency guy. Greg is Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Redworks, a company pushing the limits of software to optimize the efficiency of your warehouse and distribution network. Now, he came to Redworks from Amazon.com, where he helped build Amazon.com's enterprise e-commerce platform, and from Aspen Technology before that, Greg Janasek. Next to Greg's right is Anthony Holm, an Austin native, our government guru. Armed with a law degree, he's a principal at the Patriot Group, which works the halls of lawmaking here in Austin and in Washington, D.C. He represents defense contractors, healthcare, oil and gas, and even human rights organizations. Anthony Holm. And then, sitting next to me here is our technologist, Philip Winterburn, CIO, or Chief Information Officer at Rivet Software. For those of you who live in an ice cave and don't know about Rivet, they're one of the leaders in automated collecting, analysis, and distribution of the sustainability information that we're all so in love with. We count Philip among the top brains in how to transform business communications on sustainability. Don't blush, Philip Winterburn, ladies and gentlemen. So, since we've got this diverse and geeky group, a chief sustainability officer, a supply chain guy, a regulatory and political advisor, and a sustainability information technologist on stage, we better have all of you panelists declare your stripes on something the audience actually cares about right away. So before we begin, we may have some moments for questions at the end here. So I want you to formulate your questions and to be ready to step up to the mic right here and ask this esteemed group of panelists your questions. So let's get on with it. Question one for all panelists. Let's start with you, Aaron. Let's get all four of our panelists to define a term. Yes or no, panelists? Do you agree with the definition of sustainability as no waste? Let's start with you, Aaron Mizan from Interface.
No way. Right? So